because the most generic thing that people say is like, if it's meaningful to you, then it's like then it's a meaningful piece. But we seen what was it? That dude that went on Oprah that made 1,000 pieces. That book. Does anyone?
The book.
The book.
And it was fake.
It was fake, but it meant so much to so many people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it meaningless or is it meaningful?
I remember the rapper Biggie Small said something like, every time I make an album, I act like this is my first album. Because when you first come out, that's when you're your hungriest. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes down the line, you stop giving a fuck because it becomes more work. I remember Nikki Minaj said in an interview that, you know, I used to take my bars real serious, but I started to learn that I could say anything and y'all eat that shit up. So like, why even try? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it doesn't even matter.
But are those bars still meaningful, even if she just fucking shitted them out?
I mean, that's funny. That's funny you say that because in another genre, Kurt Cobain, the lead singer of Nirvana, a lot of people ask him, what is the meaning of your lyrics? Like, what do they mean? Like, you say this and you say that. Like, what do you mean? And he literally said in an interview, they don't mean shit. They don't mean anything. Like, I just be writing stuff. I just say stuff and I just yell it on stage and people just love it. So, like, I don't know. Like, sometimes it just comes to me. I just write a song. The first thing that pop in my mind, I just write it down. Boom, boom. We go to the studio. Boom, it's a song now. You know what I'm saying? And then like you go to the Beatles. I don't listen too much of the Beatles, so I can't give you examples of their shit. But they'll have like love songs and songs that make sense. And then they started doing acid, and now they have songs like "We All Live in a Yellow Submarine," like "I Am the Walrus," "Cuckoo Cachoo." Like these guys are tweaking. They bugging out.
A visual artist might put out like say like just blank white things, call it Le Blanc.
I was just about to get into that. Because us visuals, if we go to galleries and stuff, and people are like, "Yo, what does that mean, bro?" I don't know. I had pieces to put up, and they need to sell. That's what needs. That's what that means. That's what that means.
That's what that means.
To sell.
It means I'm hungry, man.
I'm hungry. Are you gonna buy?
Are you gonna buy? And I actually had this conversation earlier where it's like, they were touching on it. We create not for the sake of others. We create because we're creators. We got that creative spirit. There's something that is in us that pushes us to do something. And we had the conversation earlier. It's like all these different mediums, or even coming back to the jack of all trades, is like the creative outlet. So there doesn't necessarily have to be a like deep rooted meaning to anything. I just have this urge. How you talking about you waking up in the middle of the night and stuff. I have this urge. I have this idea. It needs to come out. Me currently, I want to tell stories. I love fantasy genre. That's what gets my brain going. So I'm just making things that are fantasy related. They don't have any super specific meaning all the time. Sometimes they do. But I remember I went to a convention and I was showing my art and somebody asked me what was the meaning of the character that I made. And I'm like, well, she's part of this story. She has like, I gave her, the description, but she was like, but what does it mean? What made you want to make this one?
Trying to find some deeper rooted
meaning? And I just kept giving as much information as I could. And she was still fishing for the answer. And I'm like, yo, I don't have the answers beyond that. I gave you what I could give. How it feels to you? Because that was one of the characters that resonated with her. So she ended up buying pieces of it. I'm like, that if it feels like you're connected to this, then that's on you. I appreciate that. I love that. That's powerful. But there's two parts of it. It's like artists we create, and then people who observe, they can connect to it, whether we connect to it or not. I was talking to one of my friends earlier this morning. It's like your art will take on a form of its own after you put it out there. So you could be completely emotionally disconnected from what you made. How many of us have made pieces that look like shit?
Yeah, and someone liked it.
And someone liked it. That happens to me. And but that's because we're always like, there's a sense of progression for us, right? And it's like we always are pushing ourselves beyond our limits. Yeah. And if in your soul you can do better than what you put out, and you see what you put out, and you're like, yo, that's shit. Somebody walks in and was like, yo, that's dope. It's like, okay. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking that it's entirely shit. It's just my perception.
First of all, most clients don't even know anything about art, right?
Yes,
they come. The reason why they come to an artist is for their foresight, right? So then our job and we're tasked with is to give them a gamut of samples, styles, something that they can just grab onto. But there's a lot of times, and I'm sure a lot of us agree, we want to make 4 samples. One sample, we're like, yo, this is the fire. This
Yes.
is gonna sell. But the client chose the dirt. The client chose the garbage. Every time. And I don't get it. I never will get it. But that's why, like, when I talk to other designers, we say, yo, make the best, make the dirt, and then make the one in the middle. Because that's the only way you can control these people who know nothing about art. And that's really our job, is that they come up to us and they want our advice, but they also want us to brainwash them. They want our we have to wave this magic wand and say, this, you're gonna like this, and this is the one you need to like. And we have to find a creative way to guide them to that road or through that road, because again, they come in there mad ignorant. They just found you online, or somebody said, yo, this guy, he knows how to produce, and they come in there with these dreams and visions and some quirky shit that you're just like, I don't get what you're coming at, but I'm gonna try all of it. And none of it sticks, some of it sticks, and you're like,
you gotta say, like, this fits your vision. This other thing is, it sucks.
Yeah.
This fits your vision.
And sometimes they don't even care about what you say, and then they be like, yo, this guy don't know what he's talking about. Then they go to the next designer, and they be like, man, you crazy. Because the next person gonna give you a headache. And I hear those clients that say, I've been to 3 designers. I've been to 4 designers. I wonder why. I wonder why you're at your 4th or 5th designer. Oh, it's probably because you lack vision. You lack understanding of what we're doing.